Hey everyone, welcome to Theories with Viridian. Today's episode is called Abandoned Ship. I'm Emma.
I'm Aryn.
I'm Ansleigh.
This episode is about conspiracies dealing with the Titanic and even the Titanic movie.
And thank you for tuning in to Theories with Viridian. We have one sponsor. A special thanks to Silver Sky Woodworking for their support of our channel. Without them, it would be impossible to record this. If any of our listeners need custom furniture, accent walls, cutting boards, or custom cabinets, they should head over to viridiannews.org and click the link for Silver Sky. And we are always looking for new sponsors, so let us know on viridiannews.org if you would like to be a part of our work and reach our audience with us. Okay, so everybody's seen the Titanic movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically about this guy who wins a ticket to go on the Titanic, and he ends up getting on the Titanic, but he's on like the lower level, and then there's about a girl named Rose that she comes and she's like from like a wealthy family, and she's about to get married to this wealthy guy, and they're from like two different worlds, but they end up meeting each other and falling in love in like 3 days. It's giving Romeo and Juliet. And then they end up, well, actually, I won't spoil it, but one conspiracy theory that I've heard of is Jack Dawson, which is the main guy who is played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is Jay Gatsby. So this is found on history.com. Yeah, this is found on history.com. There is a theory on the internet that Leonardo DiCaprio's character in the Titanic and his character in The Great Gatsby are the same person. The movie is an alternate timeline where he survived the sinking of the ship and went on to build a life for himself in America in an attempt to reunite with Rose. And he survives, builds himself into a party-going showman in the jazz age in hopes that Rose will one day appear, but ends up finding love with another woman, Daisy. So I don't know if that is true, because it's just a movie, but I just think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That is really interesting.
Because I really liked that movie, and I really didn't want Jack to die, so I'm kind of hoping that he actually did survive, because he could have fit on the door.
He really could have.
I know it was a spoiler, but he could have fit on the door.
Like, he could have, but...
Yeah, but it's okay.
So, the first, theory about the Titanic sinking and all that stuff that happened in 1812 actually, is that J.P. Morgan planned the sinking of the Titanic to kill rival billionaires. So, according to this theory, millionaire banker J.P. Morgan planned the Titanic disaster to kill off rival millionaires Jacob Astor, Isidore Strauss, and Benjamin Guggenheim, who were all perished aboard. To top it off, the theory claims Morgan wanted to kill them because they opposed the creation of the Federal Reserve, even though Astor and Guggenheim don't appear to have taken a position on it, and Stratus supported it.
Actually, I heard about that one time. I think I saw it in a video or something, and it was one guy decided to kill off those competitors, and I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I think I've heard about it too.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good way to do it at that point.
Yeah, I mean, sabotage is, I guess, is a good thing.
I think I remember also that the founders of Macy's died on the Titanic. I don't know if that's true or not.
The founders of Macy's?
I think so. I'm not sure though. You guys can look that up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I didn't even know Macy's was around that long.
Yeah, well, also because the sinking was in 1912. You were right.
Yeah,
so, I think Macy's has been around for a long time because they've been doing the Macy's Thanksgiving parade and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Also, there was one I saw where there was a couple and they were they both hugged each other while they were in bed together, and they were just gonna die together. And I was
yeah, I saw that too.
That was so sad.
Because the thing is, a lot of millionaires, a lot of rich and famous, influential people were on that ship. So that was an opportunity to get rid of rivals.
Yeah, and they called it. They said God could not sink that ship. But
yep.
He did, bro.
Yeah. He did. It happened.
Yep.
Yeah, that most definitely is karma.
And I also wait, okay, sorry, but I also saw that they're making that Titanic again. Like they're making a new boat.
I saw. No, I think I saw
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I'm not going on that boat.
No, for real.
Mm-mm,
Like that, I was flabbergasted because like, why would you want to repeat history?
Exactly. They're like, oh, it's way better. It won't sink.
Considering how many people died on that ship and how drastic it was, like, you would think that they would never try to remake it.
Exactly.
Right.
But they try to recreate stuff that's killed many people.
Right. And it's just, I don't know.
I feel like it's just to prove, like, oh, we can be better because we're in, like, a new age and stuff. But, like, no.
Right, like no, like
No.
it's not up to you, buddy.
No,
Like,
it's not.
Okay, so the second theory we have is that a mummy's curse doomed the Titanic. So Burns says some people link the mummy's curse to Egyptian artifacts that survivor and hero Margaret Brown really did take with her on the Titanic to deliver to a museum in Denver. In other versions of the story, the mummy was actually aboard the Titanic because the British Museum had sold it to an American who was shipping it home. That's from Snopes reports. But the truth is that so-called unlucky mummy is still at the British Museum, and no mummy was ever loaded onto the ship. It was an iceberg, not a curse, that sank the Titanic.
I heard about that one, too. I don't know if it was in the movie, the Titanic movie, or not. But they said there was a mummy on there that, like, had... I don't know, like, had ties to, like, Egypt or something. They wanted to go, like, that mummy wanted to go back there or something. I don't know. And they're mad that they're getting sent to America. So they cursed the ship. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Like, I mean...
Yeah, I haven't.
But there are, like, a lot of, like mummy curses and whatever. Like, especially, like, from back in the day, too. Like...
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's an interesting one. I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah. So number 3 also has to do with J.P. Morgan, sadly, but you know, according to Spyscape, some people believe that the ship was switched with its sister ship, the RMS Olympic, in order to receive the benefits of its crash. It is believed that this was orchestrated by the Titanic's owner, International Mercantile Marine Group, which is also led by J.P. Morgan. However, evidence points us to believe that the theory is false, as the construction materials of both ships don't align.
Yeah, because isn't that the sister ship of the Titanic?
Yeah.
So it could have easily been, like, switched.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a theory. That's like,
I've definitely heard about that one, too.
yeah, like I've heard about it, but
And it's like, I don't know, like, when they went down and looked at the Titanic and stuff. Wait, no, maybe it was the Lusitania that was the sister ship. I can't remember.
no, it was the
It was the Olympia? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it could have easily been that ship. Like, no one, I mean, you can't really prove that it isn't. I guess you could, but
Yeah.
it's going to be really hard to because they look exactly the same.
But, like, I saw, like, somebody, like, I saw a researcher or whatever saying that, like, it couldn't be the same ship because they had different, like, numbers on the construction materials, which I was like, okay, well, that's true, but, like, couldn't they just kind of change that? Like,
Yeah, you could literally paint over the...
right, like
look,
that.
if they wanted to get more insurance money, like, they would have had, like, if they would have done that. It's not, like...
Yeah.
And don't both, like, two of our theories have to do with J.P. Morgan, which is kind of suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true.
I wonder why he was never investigated if there's so many, like, conspiracy around him.
Right.
Because, I don't know, in my mind, if there's so much, like, questioning against one person, like, there has to be something they're doing
Right.
wrong.
There's some
Yeah.
truth in those, like, theories, whatever.
Yeah. Like, not saying he killed off all those, like, rival people and, like, you know, used it as to get insurance money or whatever, but...
Yeah. I mean...
But I think he would kill off those people, at least. Like, I don't think he needs more money, but I think he wants to be on top.
Yeah, be the powerful person. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that because, I mean, especially, like, back then, like, being, like, having a lot of money wasn't just enough for a lot of people. Like, you had to, like, be, like, powerful. You had to be big.
Yeah, but the number one company, like, you had to be the best.
Right. Like, you had to. And that, I mean, I guess he got what he wanted, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird, too, because he was supposed to go on the ship, and he ended up not going for whatever reason.
He didn't?
No.
At all?
No.
That's crazy.
Because he was like, oh, like, I got a ticket, I'm going on the ship. Like, I read that, and then he was like, oh, just kidding, not going. And then his other, like, competitors went, and they died.
No, that's most definitely suspicious.
Yeah.
Like, he would be the first person I investigate.
Mhm.
Because, no.
But another thing too is that I heard that like, there was like a band on the Titanic and they played the song until like they drowned.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that in the movie too?
Yeah.
That was really sad.
Yeah.
And I saw, like, in the movie also, like, I saw, like, there was this woman, she just put her children to sleep. She was like, just go to sleep. Because, I mean, she was on a lower level, too, so she was just scared. Like, she just wanted to die peacefully.
It's so sad too because they were like banging on the doors and stuff, like say, let me out, like let us out, you know.
Right.
And they were stuck under there. I also heard that there was like a Navy ship that they sunk, but they didn't end up like drowning. They were stuck inside the ship underwater for like weeks,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
they ended up like dying from starvation.
That, like, it's... The Titanic stories, like, the theories are, like...
Mm-hmm.
They can be very scary.
They're sad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
depressing.
I actually went to the museum, like, I think it was in Tennessee or something, and I was, like, this little girl, and I ended up getting, like, typhoid, like, 2 years later after I survived, and I died.
Oh.
Because I got to be a person, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And then my dad, he ended up drowning on the ship. My mom survived, though, so.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. It's, like, I think it's because it was so cold in that water and, like, outside, to the point where, like, if you didn't die on the Titanic, you died, like, a year or two later.
Yeah.
Or even a couple months because you were just, like, so sick to the point where you're not going to live.
You also have to think about, like, the trauma that comes with, like, you know, like, the sinking of the ship, like, the whole thing going down, just seeing all those people banging on the door.
Yeah.
Help me, like...
Like your mental health.
Right, like, I think I'd be destroyed.
Like, it's
Yeah.
even bad because, like, whenever the stock market crashed, like, people were so paranoid with the government and, like, they didn't want to put their money into, like, banks. Like, thinking about, like, the Titanic is even worse because, like, they still have that PTSD
Right.
and they're not going to forget.
Yeah.
Ever.
That's, like, it's sad.
Well, on that note, what do you think of all these conspiracies?
I think that it's crazy, like, all these theories about the Titanic and how Jay Gatsby and Jack Dawson could be the same person.
Yeah. Well, I can see it goes Jay, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just changed his name.
Yeah. That honestly is true. He really could just change
Because
his name.
he's pretty smart to, like, the point where he would do that just so that because, like, he probably, like, ended up getting, like, with people that were bad, like, and they were trying to find him.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
would gamble and stuff, so, like,
Yeah.
so he changed his name, but he also wanted to find Rose, so, but he didn't end up finding her, so.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. But I think the conspiracies are very interesting and very suspicious with J.P. Morgan.
Yeah.
But I would like to know more, honestly. And I think we
Yeah.
should have an investigation.
Me too, I think. I think we need to reopen the case,
Mhm.
you know, see what happened for real.
Because, like, if you're such an experienced captain, why would you knock into an iceberg?
For real.
Why would you be like, oh, you know, like, it's okay. I'm just going to go to dinner. You'll be okay.
Wasn't there like a warning? Didn't
Yeah,
someone warn him before?
they warned him like at least 3 times. I know that.
That's-
Multiple times.
That's straight up sabotage, dude. Like,
Oh my gosh.
he might have been drunk or something, because, I mean, that's straight up sabotage.
Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way that you been a captain. He had to been a captain for very long because I know he was old.
yeah.
And he decided, hey, I'm just going to ignore, like, these iceberg,
Right.
like, warnings, and I'm going to just continue eating dinner or whatever I'm doing and not listen.
Right. Like,
Yeah. And if you're going to do that, please have enough lifeboats for the whole boat.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
oh my god.
if you're going to be dumb like that, please get it together. I know it's a lot of money, but I don't care. But thank you for listening to Theories with Viridian. And tune in next time to hear either about the moon landing or the Princess Diana's death or birds aren't real, which that'll be very interesting.
That would be interesting.
But just remember, just because it's a theory doesn't mean it's not true. Thank you for listening.